Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for coming for this interaction. I just have an announcement to make, and that is about the visit of President Morsi to India. He will be arriving late this evening, and we have provided you the details of his activities here in Delhi. My understanding is now that the delegation, since we last briefed you, has further increased, and there are now 6 ministers who are accompanying him, along with another official who is equivalent to the minister. So we have approximately 7 senior minister level officials who are accompanying President Morsi, who would be arriving later tonight in Delhi. I do not have any other further announcements to make, but if you are interested in any of the issues that you may want to ask me about, I am willing to answer. Yes, Vishal.
So we are told that the Italians served a note verbal on the 15th of March saying that they have diplomatic immunity and the court order of the 14th of March cannot be executed on them. What was, did you reply to it, and what was the reply?
Sorry. Just, yeah, I think first of all, the terminology that you use perhaps is not the correct one. To say served, a note verbal is an ordinary means of communication between two governments. So yes, we did receive a note verbal from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of we did receive a communication or a note verbal from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Italy on the 15th through our mission in Rome. And that note verbal drew our attention to the provisions of the Vienna Convention regarding diplomatic agents. And of course, we are conscious of the provisions of the Vienna Convention and our obligations under the Vienna Convention, but we are also bound by the directions of the Honorable Supreme Court on this matter, and we have made this clear to them. Yes, Mr. Venkatnarayan.
Has the government decided which way to vote in Geneva? Because the voting comes up on Thursday. Thank you.
My understanding of the situation in Geneva is that the resolution in its final form will be available late this evening, Geneva time. And I also understand that the Foreign Secretary has asked our ambassador or the permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Dilip Sinha, to come over to Delhi tomorrow so that we can have consultations on the matter, as this is an important matter for us, and he will be able to brief senior officials of the government on what are the ground level realities in Geneva and the latest position on that. So the call will only be taken subsequent to the availability of the resolution and the arrival of the ambassador here for consultations with senior officials in the Ministry of External Affairs. Yes, Parul.
How does the Ministry of External Affairs see the use of the word genocide in any potential resolution, and also the demand for an international probe?
I think there is a very well-known idiom in English that we will cross the bridge when we come to it. There is no resolution as of now which is available to us. So what you say is only something that you are speculating about. We haven't seen the final format of that resolution, and it's only going to be available, as I said, later tonight, Geneva local time, and that our assessment will be communicated by Ambassador Dilip Sinha when he comes here to New Delhi tomorrow. Yes, yes, Sheila.
Sir, in view of many voices coming from European Union and retired senior UN official on the issue of Italy and India's standoff, how do you see possibility of more a diplomatic and a less a legal action? I mean, is there a possibility of a joint investigation coming soon, or some kind of a out of a court settlement? How realistic it can be?
I think you are aware of the developments today in the Supreme Court, and we as officers of the Government of India are bound by the directives of the court on this matter, and we will abide by them. So at this stage, we will take it when the court discusses this next, and my understanding of that it is on April 2nd. Yes, Nidhi.
We asked, the ambassador designate not to go to Rome right now. So are there any further diplomatic steps that would be taken between, even while the Supreme Court process is on here?
I think we did mention that there is underway a study of the entire expanse of our relationship with Italy following the Prime Minister's statement in Parliament that you are all aware of. And that study, when it is completed, will provide us a variety of suggestions, and it's only then we will consider various matters based on what that study provides as recommendations and suggestions on the entire expanse of our relations. At this stage, that's not yet ready. Yes, Tripti.
When is the Prime Minister finally going to Japan? Do we have any dates yet?
As you are aware, it's always best to finalize dates before we make such announcements. At this stage, there has not even been an advanced team which goes and makes preparations. So I think it would be premature on my part to make any suggestions or even references to such visits. Yes, the Prime Minister is keen, since he could not undertake that visit in November last due to domestic developments in Japan, and we hope that he will be able to undertake the visit at the earliest possible opportunity, which is convenient to both Japan and India. Yes, just a minute, Maurice.
Sorry, let me insist a little bit on the question of my colleague about this news coming from abroad of contacts, discussion going on between India and Italy to a diplomatic level. Can you say something more, or you are not aware at all of the existence of this kind of discussion? And secondly, are you aware that our ambassador is also accredited in Nepal, and that he could ask to go to Kathmandu tomorrow?
I am aware of the concurrent jurisdiction of the ambassador of Italy in India. That said, I've also told about, and maybe I'll use the same idiom now. Let's cross the bridge when we come to it. Let's not be speculative and think on hypothetical situations. If you have some information that he is going tomorrow, he has not communicated that as of this moment to the Ministry of External Affairs. Yes, sir.
Sir, could you tell us, we have approached the UK for information on the Augusta Westland investigations there because we signed the deal with them. Have they responded to us till now?
I think I'm not aware of developments recently, but yes, we had approached UK previously, and at that stage they had indicated in a preliminary manner that they would await the outcome of the investigations which are in Italy. Subsequent to that, their Prime Minister was here, and this was raised by our Prime Minister quite strongly, and there is on the record his response about the UK's willingness to be very transparent about these things. Since then, we have not had any further diplomatic level information exchange on that matter. Thank you very much.